Hey y'all, welcome to the first video of my new channel. Alright, I want to start talking about the solar eclipse that's coming up on Monday, April 8th. There's a bunch of people out there spouting all kinds of nonsense, and I just can't bite my tongue anymore. It's wild. First, what is an eclipse? Simple astrophysics. Just so we're clear, the Earth travels around the sun. The moon travels around the Earth. Every so often the sun, moon, and Earth line up in such a way that the shadow is cast upon the Earth. Simple astrophysics. Now, it's a natural thing, happens every so often. So, alright, let's talk about all the stuff on the internet. I'm not going to play clips, I'm not going to read quotes from people because, frankly, I just don't want to give them any more oxygen. A lot of them, well, they make me want to say things I might regret later. I don't want to sound bat crap crazy right away. Maybe down the road, but not today. Anyway, I'm trying to be as politically neutral as possible and be somewhere anyone can come and get some knowledge, or, well, I'll just be happy if you come here and listen to me ramble on for a while. Okay, let's talk about some more of these rumors. There's a bunch of emergency declarations out there. Yep, absolutely. And not surprising. A lot of jurisdictions are expecting a flood of people on a tiny strip of land trying to see that eclipse. Not all of them can handle all the problems that could come up. Under the way the government operates, they need those declarations to free up funds and supplies, other resources. It's nothing nefarious. Now, there is something called a national special security event, something like that. It's a specific event. Could be one of those presidential nominating conventions coming up. Could be Macy's Day Parade, Super Bowl. Something that the government decides has a special national significance. It's a high-profile event, and it would be a nice, ripe, juicy target for bad things to happen. I don't know if they've declared the eclipse as such an event, but I wouldn't be surprised. So, that would be the explanation for having all the nuclear, biological, and chemical folks that everybody's freaking out about. Honestly, if your event has that designation, you're going to have all kinds of fun people with scary specialties showing up. It's what they do. The way the government operates, don't freak out. Now, another explanation that's even simpler. Their leadership might just be saying, woohoo, training exercise, let's go play. And folks, come on out, you're welcome. I'd much rather have you out there and not need you than the caca hit the fan. I need you and you're not there. Bad day. Now, another thing people are on about is stocking up on food, water, gas, all that stuff you need to live. Couple of thoughts. First, you've got a whole bunch of people trying to squeeze into a small strip of land to see this eclipse. A lot of them are going to start showing up over the weekend. Now suddenly you have a community of hundreds or a few thousand people suddenly supporting tens of thousands of people for a 3-day long weekend. Think about it. What's that community's resources? What's that influx of people going to do to those resources? Gas supplies. You've only got one gas station in town and suddenly you have 10 times the population. Is your gas supplier going to run out of gas? What about cell phone service? I've actually been in a few places where cell phone service got overwhelmed and went bye-bye. It happens. And if it was me, I'd prefer to watch all that madness from the front porch rather than having to go out looking for food or medicine or whatnot. Second, maybe a bit off the Eclipse topic here, but why would you not want to have supplies on hand all the time? You never know when something's going to happen and you could be stuck in your place for a while. Think of what happened when everybody got locked down for COVID. How is your toilet paper supply these days? Just throwing it out there. Okay, now there's another rumor. One particular guy is spouting, and I think it's just way out there. The National Guard is being deployed to come in to practice martial law. Oh, wow. There's a lot of unpacking on this one. All right, first, bottom line up front, wherever they're deployed, they're there to help. There's nothing nefarious. Let's think about it for a second. Remember when folks wanted them on the border? How about when they wanted them in the cities to back up the police? Those are all things you could have called martial law. What about the last 20 years or so in the Middle East? A lot of our people got a lot of martial law practice occupying Iraq and Afghanistan. They're probably pretty good at it at this point. There's some corporate knowledge out there. Now, did you know that there's even contractors out there that provide role players and locations for the military, the public affairs, and all those folks to come in and practice dealing with civilian populations? Could call that martial law practice. Well, even way back when I was in the military in the 90s, we did a bunch of riot control practice. Called it stomp and drag. A lot of fun, very tiring. Never want to do it for real. Now, I've also been on a few exercises where you go out in the field and you build prisoner of war detention facilities. A lot of tents and concertina wire. Could very easily repurpose those tents and concertina wire facilities for civilian populations. Call that martial law practice. Anyway, enough battling on that. Having the National Guard come out, and it's not something you stress over. Next, real simple. Schools are not running on Monday. They're either letting out early or they're doing remote learning. How does this not make sense? A lot of people are going to be out Monday morning trying to find the best spot to look at the sun burn their eyeballs out. They're going to see the eclipse in mid-ish afternoon, I forget what time it is, and then they're going to try to run for home. About the time all the school buses will be running. Why would you want to have your kids out in that? I'd want to keep my kids close to home, and well, maybe that's just me. All right, now, they got this thing about incoming asteroids, comets, or whatever undercover the eclipse. Wow. Okay, whatever. It's either coming or it's not. Could have one coming in on Monday or Tuesday or a week from now. Whatever. It's not something you can change. Best thing you can do is stock up on supplies. Hope it doesn't hit anywhere close to you, and it's not big enough to kill the planet. Other than that, have a nice day. All right, last thing. Now I'm going to try to make this as generic and applicable to as many people as possible. Let's talk about the return of the Almighty. The prophecy stuff that's out there. There's always someone out there talking about the end of the world. You know, this sign or that sign means the end is nigh. This eclipse, it's no different than any other sign. I'll let you know a secret. Someone is always saying that we're in the end times. Eventually somebody's going to be correct. Just remember, When the Almighty returns, it's going to be on His time, not yours. He's not coming a moment before. We humans, we don't get to dictate that timetable. Here's my advice to you. Do your best to live according to your beliefs every day. When the end time comes, you've done your best. Hopefully your Almighty is merciful, the gates of heaven open, and in you go. This is Dave Allen. I'll see you when I see you.